many of them find it very difficult in terms of creating a poster because to me, creating a poster, I prefer to use Illustrator, whereas that's a very technical aspect, whereas Canva is a very simplest form of doing poster. And talking about branding is most important actually because why brand is most important? Because we should be proud of our brand, the Toastmasters itself. Because brand uni- mentions about the quality of what we promote actually. Because for example, our CEO Daniel Rex mentions brand is a very crucial thing in any product for that matter. For example, if you walk into a Starbucks in Bahrain, it wouldn't be any different from a Starbucks in Indonesia or a Starbucks in Australia. This is the uniform brand they create throughout. Now, it is no brand is not just in terms of creating posters that we have the brand colors, the logo, the race. The brand also reflects in your meetings, your how your meeting is being conducted. For example, if a guest visits your club and if he sees that you're following a certain brand and there is some he visits some other club, there's a difference in the brand that reflects in the total Toastmasters. So what is again a brand? For me, we are the brand actually. How we behave, how we interact, how we showcase, that's also a brand actually. When people look at you and they say you are different from others. What is that one difference? Is that we are Toastmasters. Okay. So we need to reflect in all our aspects of life that we are different from others because we are in better communicators, better leaders, and we serve the community. So as Toastmasters, be the brand, be the change. Over to you, Toastmaster Mara.
Thank you very much, DTM Salim. You have stole the words right from my mouth. This is what I actually wanted to inform our guests here tonight, that being in Toastmasters is like being in one big family. So whether we go in Toastmasters in America and Toastmasters in Europe or in Australia, every single poster have to reflect the same identity. Yes, we realize that each club would like to be more attractive in order to attract more guests, but it is very important to stick to a uniform guideline that is stated by Toastmasters International, because at the end of the day, we follow an organization. We're not a single entity. That is why this workshop is very important, to show you how we can support Toastmasters and preserve its copyrights as stated. So without further ado, I would like to welcome our presenter tonight. She actually joined Toastmasters when she turned 18 years old, and now 9 years down this phenomenal journey, achieving her DTM in June 2020. She's a graphic designer and partner at Cumber Designs and Media since 2012. And she's also the immediate past Area 2 director. Please help me welcome distinguished Toastmaster Neda Cumber.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Maram. Hi, everyone. I can see all of you and your cameras are off, which is just perfect because all you just need to do is just look at me and just listen to what I'm going to be presenting. So let's just get right on to it. Go over here. There we are. Now, can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. I just need to pin you, Maram, since you are the timer, right? Perfect. Just going to put you down there. All right, so let's get right on to it. Present that. All right, so thank you again, Toastmaster Maram, for giving me this opportunity once more to deliver a Canva workshop. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 2 for the District Toastmasters PR workshop series, Create with Canva. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating 3 types of design. One simple design, one complex design for posters, and one newsletter. But before we get into the designing part, I want to touch base on what the brief is about the branding guidelines. So we know what we're working with. It's just going to be really quick to skim through. Let's get on to it. So first of all, we have the Toastmasters logo. So these are the versions of the Toastmasters logo that we are allowed to use. So you got the globe over here in grayscale and a white, and the watermark over here, and then the pathways logo. So keep note on these are the type of logos that we are only allowed to use. Going on with the fonts, we have two different type of fonts, a header font and a body font. So the header font is mostly Gotham, but an alternative font will be Montserrat, which is available on Canva. And then the body font is Myriad Pro, and the alternative fonts are Source Sans Pro and Arial. Source Sans Pro is already available on Canva, so you don't have to worry about anything. So Montserrat and Source Sans Pro is the way to go when working with Canva. The type of colors that we have are the three primary colors: True Maroon, Loyal Blue, and Cool Gray. And the accent color, which I really like, is Happy Yellow. Now let's talk about photos. When it comes to photography, there are a few photos we have to only be able to use. These type of photos are the Toastmasters type of photos. So photos that reflect Toastmasters, like a person having a meeting, a person being supportive, or a group of people, and like see a person speaking over here, and a person here describing something, and this portrait of a really lovely woman. So something that is Toastmaster related, that's very engaging, empowering, and it just gives out a nice supportive feel. Speaking about photos, here are the type of photos that we are not allowed to use. We have to stay away from this. So photos like clip arts, cartoons, even if a photo is about a person speaking, that is still a no-go. Photos like landscapes, I know this photo is really beautiful and it's really tempting to use it, but apparently it's not allowed. Stay away from that photo. Photos about animals, I know this dog is really cute, but we can't use him. And photos like of children, food appliances, medicine, just keep it Toastmaster related type of photos and stay away from all these kinds of photos. All right. If you want to learn more about the branding guide, you can go ahead and look at the branding guide from Toastmasters International. Go ahead, read through that. It's very informative. It's quite long, and it's really interactive. It's really nice. But if you want an in-depth look into the branding guide, you can go ahead and tap into the episode 1, which is on YouTube. I think Toastmaster Maram can put that link into the chat for all of you to click through. So if you want to look at that after today, you can definitely go in and take your time, because Toastmaster Maram, our district PR, delivered this presentation really well. She simplified every single point in this Toastmaster branding guideline, and it's really easy to understand. So go ahead and check that out. Now let's talk about, why do we like Canva? Why Canva? Why should we use it? First of all, it's free. And if you want to buy it, you can go ahead and purchase a subscription on Canva, but the free version already has a wide variety of things that it offers, from templates to images to shapes and all types of fonts that you can use for free. So it's perfect. It's for individuals and for teams. So if you're working alone, it's perfect for you. If you're working in a team, it's also perfect for you, because if you want someone to edit your photo, edit your design, you can just add them to your team. Or if you want them to add more designs to your folder, they can definitely do that. You guys can work in a beautiful team. Fun and easy to follow tutorials to help you find your way around Canva. Now this is really fun, because when you get into Canva, you'll automatically have a tutorial, and Canva is already very user-friendly. So every time you hover on top of an icon, there is a very simplified explanation as to what that is. So for example, if it's a copy or a duplicate, you can just, it's automatically going to say that. So it's very easy to follow. It's really very simplified for anyone to use. An easy and powerful creative tool for businesses and education and individuals. So Canva is used to create any type of artwork. So for example, you have a sale in your business, you can go ahead and use Canva. If you want to put up an announcement, you can make it on Canva and then go ahead and download that. If you want to make an Eid greeting or a Ramadan greeting, you can even do that on Canva. It's perfect. And what we recently found out is that Canva comes in different languages, especially Arabic, which we're going to tap into tomorrow during the same workshop, but in Arabic. So keep a lookout for that if you want to tap into it. and you can find inspiration with Canva templates. Canva templates are amazing. Let me just say that we're going to be working with actually two Canva templates, and you can easily find inspiration with Canva templates. If you're feeling blocked, you can go in and look at the templates that they have, and easily come up with something really brand new and really nice and eye-catching. So these are the reasons why we are choosing Canva and why you should too. Now let's talk about the best practices in designing before we get into actually doing the design work. First thing is to know your colors and stick with it. This is very simple. Just stick with the Toastmaster colors and the neutral colors, which is black and white. That's it. Don't go beyond that. Respect the space of your elements and let them breathe. Every element, every photo, every shape, every text should have a good amount of space around it. Like if you can see over here in this particular space, in particular element section over here, there's ample space between the shapes and the text, and it's very breathable. It's easy to look at, and it's visually pleasing. For font's sake, limit your typefaces. Toastmasters make it super simple for us because they only have basically two typefaces, Montserrat and Source Sans Pro, a header and a body font. Just use that. Use a maximum of 2 fonts. If you're using 1 font, go right ahead and do that. That's perfect. If you can't go up to 2 fonts, that's great. That's great as well. But keep it up to that. Just 2 fonts maximum. Know your content. Know and understand what content you want to put out into the world. What do you want your audience to look at? What do you want them to look at first? Figure that out, understand it, and also keep it simple and straightforward, which means keep the important parts only the most important parts, and try as much as possible. Actually, don't try, just completely do it. Do not put in links on the poster. For one, the poster is not clickable, so they can't even redirect it to the actual page you're trying to link it to. So don't do that. If you want to add a link, go ahead and put it in your description, but try as much as possible just to not put links into your posters and keep everything straightforward, simple, and the important bits only. If you want to include more information, make 2 posters and call that as it is. Just keep it nice and simple and straightforward. Shapes can be your best friend. Use shapes to add accents to your design. If your design is looking plain or bland, you feel like something's missing, add a line, add a circle, add a square or a squiggly line just to give it some accent, give it some flavor. So let that be your best friend. Use shapes. Don't be afraid to use that. Know your image and where to put them. Figure out what image you want to use, whether it's a group photo or a portrait. Figure out which one you want to use and understand where you want to place it. Do you want to place it in the top half of the screen of the image, or on the left side, on the right side? But mostly you can put it on each one of the 4 corners of the canvas. Just don't put it anywhere on weird sides of the canvas. Just keep it in a nice place where everything can be nice and aligned. Finally, look for inspiration. If you have an account on Pinterest, go ahead and use that. It's one of my favorite tools. Instagram is also a great place to find inspiration. Just look for the hashtags poster design, typography design, and just go through that whole, and you'll find amazing things on Instagram. And finally, like I've said before, Canva templates. That is one of the best places to find inspiration, especially since we're using the place itself, which is Canva. So go in and look at Canva templates, and just for nice, beautiful inspiration if you're feeling blank. All right, so these are the best practices we're going to be tapping into while we design. So now we are ready to actually test everything out. Okay, let me just minimize this. Okay, I'm going to go into our first poster. So what we're going to be doing, this is the simple poster that we're going to be recreating. And then here is the complex poster that we're going to be recreating. And then later on, this is the newsletter that we will be recreating, and I'll show you how I did that. All right, so let's tap into this first poster. This is actually a Canva template that I used. So we've got the theme, which is power of voice, the date and time, and I kept swipe for more information just in case you want to add in an extra description or an extra page to maybe put the agenda, or maybe call on the the role players, you can do that. And then I have the club information down below. And I put here meeting alert, and I added in the Toastmaster logo. So let's recreate this from scratch using a template, of course. Okay, going on to home. So for example, you've signed into Canva and we want to make a poster. And the poster, I want it to be square. So I can go ahead and I want it for Instagram. So I can go right there and type out Instagram. And I can just click on that, or I can just go down here to social media and then find it over here, Instagram post, click on that. And then we have our empty canvas. From here, first thing I want to do is rename the post. I recommend everybody try to make this a habit when you get into a new canvas, rename your post. I'm just going to call this meeting simple. And then the next step I want to try to tap into is to put all the Toastmaster colors into the canvas so we don't have to deal with trying to find out where we can find these colors. So a trick we can do is we go to elements, and all at once we can try to keep all the colors in one. So I'm in elements, I'm going to scroll down to frames, see all. Then I'm going to select this Mac computer over here. Just going to select that. And immediately you'll see there are 3 colors over here, plus the color wheel. The color wheel is a color itself. So if you want to go ahead and change that, you can go ahead. So first of all, let's tap on this color because we want to change it to a Toastmaster color. Now, where do we get the Toastmaster code? In the brand manual, when you go there, this is how it's going to look like. And I'm going to go to table of contents. I'm going to look for color palette. So click on that, and automatically it brings me to the color palette. Now I want to use this hex code, that hashtag over here. Yeah, you're going to use that. Double click to select all, copy that, going back to our canvas, go to this color wheel that we selected and paste. There is our first Toastmaster color. Going back to the branding guide, going to the same place, selecting this next color, which is white, changing it to the Toastmaster blue. And then we're going to do the same thing with the other colors, selecting this gray, changing it to Toastmaster gray, and finally the Toastmaster happy yellow. Click on this color wheel, and then click on this color wheel, and then click on copy paste the yellow. And there we have it, our color palette. So that when we want to go in and change a color, for example, on the background, you can just click on the background, click on the color wheel, and automatically the colors for Toastmasters is right there for you. Now, another trick we can do, so because we don't want to keep this here, so we're going to make this really tiny. All right, I'm going to drag this all the way to the side. And then I'm going to reduce the opacity, the transparency over here. And then that's it. You have a blank canvas, and when you click on the background, change the color, and the colors are still there. So it's like what you've just created, which is over here, is not going to bother you because it's pretty small. All right, so that's one trick. Now we have our title, we have our colors in. Now the next thing we want to do is find the template. Going on to templates over here on the left, I'm going to scroll down to see what template might fit what I'm looking for. This one. I'm just going to click on that and automatically gets into my canvas. Now, first thing I want to do is change the color for this purple box because it's not Toastmaster compliant. Change the color. Oh, it's gone because we have, okay, let's undo that. What I'm going to do is because what we have over here, and I placed the template on top of it and automatically deletes what I just made. So another trick we can do is just get onto the duplicate page, duplicate that, and then from there add in our template, get into the box, purple, change the color. The colors are still there because our colors are in this small little thing that we made invisible. Click, I want to make it maroon and change this font to a Toastmaster font. Let's make it Montserrat. Montserrat bold, semi-bold. And I want to change this text to say meeting alert. Okay, I'm going to expand this out this way so then the whole text comes up, and then I want to make it smaller. I can do that by going to the font size over here, or I can just go to the edge of the text box and make that small from there. I'm going to use the arrow keys to bring that down a little bit. There we go. Yeah, perfect. Now I'm going to highlight these two and I'm going to group that together. From there, I want to bring this down just a smidge because I know I want to put the logo up there. The next thing I want to do is add the photo in the background. This is a nice photo, but it's black and white and I have to pay for it, which I don't want to. So I want to add in my photo. So I'm going to go to uploads. And to upload your photo, you can go ahead and go to your document. This is the photo I want to upload, and just drag and drop, and automatically it will add it for you. From there, select the photo, drag it onto the canvas, and automatically it snaps into place. All right. But I like this photo. I like where it is, but I want to move the model a little bit to the left. To do that, I'm going to click on the photo, double click to open the crop section. And from here, I can make her bigger, make her smaller, but I want to keep her in the same size, except I just want to move her to the left. So I'm just going to drag her to the left a little bit and then double click outside of the canvas to get out. Or if you want, you can just click done and you automatically get out of there. The next thing I want to do is change to this gradient. Now, when it comes to gradients, it's a little bit tricky when it comes to Toastmasters. So we can't use anything more than the Toastmaster color on that gradient. So I'm going to delete this and I'm going to find a transparent gradient. I'm going to go to elements, click on elements again to go back to the home page of the elements. Then I want to scroll down to find gradients. Here we are. Click on see all, then scroll all the way down to find that transparent gradient that we are looking for. Here we are. This is the transparent gradient. Click on that, and then you see there are only two colors in there, which is perfect, which is just what we want. Select the purple color because it's not what we want, and select the maroon because that's what we're going with. Again, I'm going to select the white and then change that color. And then I want to make this bigger because I want to put this right behind where the text is. I'm going to make that bigger, so kind of like it's the canvas size. All right, and then I want to bring this down, so I can just drag this all the way down, and it's totally okay for you to drag it down, and you won't be able to see it on the other canvas, so you're totally fine with it. Okay, now the only problem is that the text is right behind the gradient. How do we put it on top? How do we put the text on top? What I'm going to do is select on that gradient and go to position, click backward. You can either do this manually or do it on your keyboard, which is Control or Command open bracket. So I'm just going to do that on the keyboard. So if I did that once, I clicked that on the keyboard, I did that once, it brought back this text. If I can do it manually, backward, backward, there we are. A quick way to do that as well is just click on send to back over here, boom, and it sends everything backwards. Perfect. Then I'm going to change this color. A quick way to do that without going into this color over here and clicking the color that you want, you can just select this copy style. So what I want to do is I'm going to select the style I want to copy, click that, which is the style is the maroon, click copy style, and I'm going to go to this section. I'm going to hover over here and click there. That color is really quickly added into the shape. Now I want to delete this, the news. Click on that, click on the backspace to delete. I want to change this handle to our Toastmaster Club handle at fellow Toastmasters at fellow TM. All right, great. Now I want to change this text. I'm going to ungroup this. We can see that it's grouped. So I'm going to ungroup that, bring this a little bit higher, change the font. Again, instead of changing the font like that, I think I want to click on that type of, yeah, let's just change the font. Click on here, change it to extra bold because I like extra bold, and change that text to the theme. which is power of words. Is it? Or power of voice? Is that what I had before? Yes, power of voice. Got it. There we are. I'm going to move that up because I know I want to put text down below. Now to add text really quickly, a shortcut we can do is click on T on your keyboard. I'm going to click on T and automatically it adds in a paragraph text. From there, I want to add in our when it's going to be, what time, and all that descriptions. So instead of writing that down, I'm going to go ahead and copy paste what we have here to save time. Copy that and then paste it. And I'm going to select all to change the style. So I'm going to change this to Source Sans Pro because it's a body font. So Source Sans Pro, perfect. And I want to left align that. And let's change the color to a pop of color. So let's use Happy Yellow. Then I want to make that smaller. Again, go to the edges and make that smaller. How small you want to be, I want it to be. Bring that all the way down. And I want to extend the text box. So I'm going to hover over here and then extend that out. Perfect. Then I want to change what we have over here. Now I can't really see or can't really click on this arrow very well. And I want to be able to easily go into it. So I want to zoom in. A way to do that is to click on zoom over here. Click on fill to fill the whole page. And even if you're on fill and you can bring back, you can hide that side over here, the toolbox, the canvas automatically expands for you. And if you don't want that, you can just go ahead and do manually and it will just make it zoom in as you want. Or you can do it on your keyboard by clicking Command or Control plus or minus. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And I want to select this arrow, bring that there a little bit because I know I want to add text over here. So the text is going to be quite long. So it's going to be swipe for more information. Let's extend that text box out so it's in one line. And I'm going to select both the arrow and the text. Okay, so to do that, I want to go to hold down Shift. I already have my text box selected. Hold down Shift and click on the arrow. That way both of them are selected. Now I want to align them centered in a way that they're in the same angle. I'm going to go to Position and I'm going to click Middle. You see that arrow? The arrow moved down, which is what I want. So let's change the font to this to Sans Pro. Perfect. Now I want to align this text left. So they're all in the same area. Again, click on the text you want, hold down Shift, click the text that you need, and then Position. And let's do it. Oh, it's already left aligned. Perfect. We're good to go. Let's take this arrow, bring it a little bit closer, select the text box, and I want to group it together. So I'm going to go over here to Group. Perfect. And now we are missing the Toastmaster Club name. So I'm going to go ahead and type down T once more, and I'm going to go Fellow Toastmasters Club. If you see a club that's like this with the same name, please let me know. I just made it up. So just shoot me a message if you see that same club name. Then I want to go into Fellow TM because I want to get the same style. We need to change the font for this. So let's change it to Montserrat Pro. Okay, perfect. Now let's click on this copy style, paste style, and the style is the same. You don't have to go in and change the font manually. It automatically changes on your own. Okay, now we're almost done. What are we missing? The logo. We are missing the logo. Okay, so I'm going to go back to uploads. I have already uploaded the logo myself. So when you upload again, go onto your folders and then drag and drop whatever you need. But I already have my logo in there and I want to use this watermark. Let's make the watermark smaller so it fits right above. Bring that up. Now the thing is, when you're putting things in corner, do not put them right at the edge. Looking at that now, it feels like the edges are suffocating the logo, which is what we don't want. So let's take that away from there before it suffocates. So bring that there. Let's bring the meeting alert a little bit higher. Now there's ample space around here. I want to put more space around there. But now we cannot see ERS. It's kind of hiding behind the background because the background is almost the same color. To do that, to fix that, we're going to add in a white box around it. So I'm going to go to Elements. I'm going to scroll all the way up to Shapes, click on the square, change the color to white. And then from there, I'm going to drag that up, make that smaller. So it's kind of like the same size as the box behind Meeting Alert. Bring that position in the back, bring that back, and there we have it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your first poster. Give yourselves a round of applause if you've made this as well. Congratulations. Okay, there we go. This is your first poster. And now we can go in and tap into our next type of poster, which is the complex poster. And I've made this from scratch. It's really nice. It's very simple. And we've got Succeeding with Toastmasters, Working to Make It Work, a talk with Marilyn Doe. It's moderated by Jane Winter. It's going to be on September 27th at 7:30. And we've got the Toastmasters logo up there. We have the Toastmaster Colors. It's perfect. How do we make this? Okay, I'm going to close these files and then let's go back to home. Now I want to make a poster, right? Not a square. I don't want to make a square. It's not going to fit all the information that I need. So I can go into and type down poster. And here we go. Automatically, the poster would be about A4 size. I'm going to click on blank because I want a blank poster. I don't want to use a template. I'm going to make it from scratch. Okay, so here is our blank template. The first thing we need to do, remember, what do we need to do? Name your templates, name your designs. So I'm going to call this complex poster. All right, and also we need to get the Toastmaster colors, remember? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to what we've made before. I'm going to go to home. And another trick that I like to do is I'm going to go back to this simple poster that I've made. I've already made the Toastmaster colors that we did before. I'm just going to go ahead and click that, copy that, and then go to the complex one we just made, paste. Let's duplicate this page. I don't need this. There we go. We have a blank canvas. And if you want to export it without this page there, go to downloads and then click on the page that you want to download. Okay, but first we have the title, we have the colors in, and now we just need to design everything. First thing, I'm going to color the background. Click on the background, click on the color wheel, and then change it to the maroon that I want. Next step, I want to get that big element, that really big T, which is this. I want to put that in first. Going to elements, and I'm going to go down to frames. Frames, clicking on that. Then it's scrolling all the way down to until we reach the alphabets. Here we are. Click on T, because that's what we want. T stands for Toastmasters. I'm going to make that as large as the canvas, and bring that all the way to the left. So I don't want to make the whole thing. I don't want it to take over the entire space. And then I want to add the border, the yellow border that I had around it. I'm going to click on elements once again. And then I want to click on shapes. Going up to shapes, click on see all. Scroll all the way down. Now this is the border as well that we can use, but I want something thinner. So I'm going to scroll all the way down to find a thinner type of border. And I think this might work. No. Here we are. There we go. And it's already in the yellow color, which is perfect. So I'm just going to extend that out almost to the size of the canvas, leaving the edge bare. So it has breathing space. Thank you, Maram. Perfect. And now I want to bring this all the way back. So I'm going to click on position, bring it backward. Perfect. And then I want to put in the Toastmaster logo right there. Going back to uploads, again, you want to put in your Toastmaster logo and scroll all the way down. I want to use this logo, which is white, make that smaller and fit it right there. It's nice and snug. It's a little bit close to the edge, so I'm going to make that smaller. Perfect. Perfect. Now let's add in the text. The text says, succeeding with Toastmasters, working to make it work. I have basically 3 text boxes, 1, 2, 3, 4, plus the person who's going to be talking. So let's start with the first 2. I'm going to click on T, and I'm going to make that bigger so we can see. And then succeeding with, I'm going to make with in lowercase. I'm going to change the font for that to Montserrat. Change that to Montserrat. I like it light. Put that up there. Click on T once again. Write down Toastmasters in all caps. Change this font to Montserrat bold. Perfect. I want to make this bigger, a little bit bigger than the first text box. Bring that right underneath. There we are. Make that a little bit closer so it doesn't look like it's in 2 different lines. Okay, perfect. Now I want to add in our tagline, which is working to make it work. I'm going to just go ahead and copy paste that just to save some time. Click on T, paste the text that I want. And yeah, this is fine. I want to make it all caps. You can see over here, it's sentence case. It's lowercase. So to automatically make it all caps, let's go on to the 3 dots that says more and go over here that says uppercase. And automatically when you click that, it makes it all caps for you. Now I want to change the color. Let's change it to yellow. Make that a little bit smaller because it's the tagline. We don't want it to take over the entire poster. Bring that up. All right, perfect. Deselect it, just click outside of the canvas. Now I want to add in who's the one delivering that speech, that presentation. So I'll talk with Marilyn Doe. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and copy paste that. Same principle apply, just copy and write down your text. Change the font. This one I want to make it bold, italics, and I want to zoom in a little bit more because we're making it smaller. I'm going to hold this down, italics, and bring that right below. Now, for example, I want to align these texts together. Select all of these things. Hold down Shift to select. Position and left align. Automatically, it aligns left. It's a beautiful tool. Perfect. Now let's add in Marilyn's photo. Going on to photos, or if you want to go to uploads, but I have Marilyn's photo already here. I'm going to go ahead and drag and drop that to the frame. Again, I want to move her a little bit to the left because I want her whole right eye to be seen. I want to double click on this frame and just go ahead and drag that to the left. Perfect. Click on done. And yeah. Now let's add in who's moderating it. So I want to add in her photo and then her name. So to do that, let's add in, go to elements, click on that again, and then going down to frames, I want to get a circle. Just drag that onto the canvas, make that smaller, move that a little bit so it's kind of aligned. And then I want to add in her name, right? But I don't want her name to just float about. I want to put it behind a border or a shape. So I'm going to click on this square on shapes. Make that thinner, so just thin enough so you can put in her name. Put that there, so it's kind of centered with the circle. Let's zoom in a little bit and bring that there. But I also want to put this shape behind the frame. Either I can go to position, click backwards, or we can just use the keyboard shortcut, Command or Control, open bracket. And yeah, again, same thing applies to when you want to add in text. Moderated by Jane Winter. And I want to make this bold. Select all, make it bold. Perfect. Let's change the color to maroon. Make this smaller so it fits right there. Perfect. I'm gonna move this up. But I also want to change the color of the background. I don't want it to be yellow. It's too much yellow now. And we're going to add more yellow later on. I'm just going to change that to white. And then now let's add in Jane's photo, going back to either uploads or photos, but my photo, we're using a stock photo. So I'm just going to go ahead and drag and drop that there. Again, I want to move her down because I want her whole head to show. Double click that, bring her down. Perfect. Click on done. Let's zoom out. Now, what are we missing? When is it going to be? What time? How are we going to access this workshop? So to do that, let's again click on T, add in your text. I'm going to go ahead and copy paste that from here. Select all, copy that, and paste it. Perfect. And then I want to add in join us. So again, I'm going to click on T, join us, put that down there. Let's select this again, left align that so everything is left aligned. It's nice and symmetrical. Make that smaller, put it higher, but I want to distinguish between the title. I want the descriptions over here, the time and date to pop a little bit more. So I'm going to change that font to bolder Montserrat. Let's go with semi-bold. Perfect. Let's even make it even more bolder. Then, yeah, we're almost done. But then I feel like I want to add something extra. Remember what I said? Shapes can be your best friend. This situation calls for a shape. So I'm going to go to elements. I'm going to go to shapes. And I want to scroll all the way down because I want a nice squiggly line shape. So I'm going to scroll all the way down, see what we're looking for. See, the Canva has a lot of shapes that you can use. Okay, here we go. This is the one. I want to use this shapes, and this is great because it has 3 colors. I'm just going to select that, make it white maybe. Yes. And we can select this color, make it the Toastmaster gray, and this one we can make it Toastmaster heavy yellow. But we don't want it to be like this. We want to make it a little, we don't want to angle it, we want to rotate it. To do that, when you click on that element, it automatically comes up with a rotation tool down below. Just hold that down and drag that to where you want to rotate it. I want to rotate it about 90 degrees. Make that bigger because I don't want the whole thing. There we go. So I just want this element. Yeah, perfect. But I also want to get this behind everything else. So I'm just going to click on Command Control back. And there we have it. Let's bring this text down. I need to change the color because we can't see anything. So I'm just going to select the text, change the color to maroon, select join us, change the color to black. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is basically your poster. I want to actually select this. Okay, but then when I hover, when I highlight everything, it selects the border, selects this T to deselect everything, deselect the ones that you don't want. Just hold down Shift and just click on the one that you don't want. It just deselected the T. I'm going to deselect the border, and I want to select the woman's face, the photo. Click on that, and I want to select join us and September. Position, left align. That way everything is nice and symmetrical and aligned. Let's expand that out. Perfect. I want to bring this zoom on 1 line instead of 2. There we go. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen, your complex poster. Yay, this is made from scratch. So we're all good with it, and it's perfect, and we like it. Yes, now you know how to make one from scratch. You can even use a Canva template as inspiration for it. You don't have to use that all on its own. You can play around with it. Now that we have the complex poster, we've made a simple poster, you know how to do that. The next thing I want to tap into is newsletters. Newsletters are great for a lot of information, and I want to show you a few examples. Here's one from SLCC. Newsletters can be simple. It doesn't have to be very complicated at all. Here is a nice, simple example. Everything is white. They have a white background. They don't use that many elements. They have a table of contents. The text is very minimal. They keep directly to the point. They have articles, but they've kept it nice, clean, and symmetrical. And then here's another example from the Young Adult Toastmasters, the Vox. Again, it's nice and simple. They've used the Toastmaster colors. They've used the shape over here, and everything is nice and clean. It does not have to be complicated at all, So keep it nice and simple. That is key here. Nice, simple, and straightforward. So going into the newsletter, this is what we've created and what we are going to recreate. Here is the cover page. The title of the newsletter is called The View, and it's issue number 45. And I put this in this issue type of section over here. Scrolling down, we have success stories if you want to put in images of people. Scrolling all the way down, we have an article, an image, and then a continuation of the image. And then another article if you want to add that in. And then finally, we have the last page, where it includes happy helpers and logo, fellow Toastmasters club, and the Toastmasters information, the club information. Now let's recreate this. I actually use a template for this. So I'm saying you can use anything you want to make from scratch, but I suggest use a template. It makes things way more easier and faster. Okay, so I'm going to go to home and I want to type down newsletter because I want to use that template. So newsletter, click on newsletter. And immediately you can see a bunch of templates here that you can use, but I don't see anything that I like. So I'm going to start off with blank. Don't worry, we're going to use a template, but just not the ones that were there. Okay, we have a blank page. Again, first step, rename your design. So test newsletter. All right, perfect. Next step, get the Toastmaster colors. So when you have the Toastmaster colors open, copy paste what you just made, paste that, just duplicate this, and then you have that there. Just leave that alone. You don't need that. You can delete it later on. Just delete what's on the main canvas first. Now I want to use a template. I'm going to scroll all the way down to see what we can use. I like the way this looks, but I don't think, there we are. I want to use this. Okay, first we'll use the front page. We're going to make the front page. Click on this front page. I don't need this text. I'm just going to go ahead and delete that. Select, delete, delete. I don't need this part. I'm going to delete that. I want to change the font. Everything needs to change, but in terms of font and color and the text, so I'm just going to change that to the voice. The voice, what did I write? The view. If everybody watches the voice, let me know. The voice, the view. There we go. Change the font to Montserrat, extra bold. I don't want it to be italics. And it's going to highlight that, change the italics, change the color to blue. It's connected and grouped with a different text. I don't want it to be grouped, so I'm just going to select that, ungroup you. I can use you later on. But for now, I'm just going to minimize the text box. I want to rotate it 90 degrees. It's a nice little graphic design trick. Rotation of text and make it super large. You can put it on one side. Just going to put it there for now. And then I want to extend on this image that we have. Put that down, extend all the way. And you can see from firsthand that there's already a border around there, an invisible border. I want to keep that. It makes the design look nice and simple and clean and breathable, right? So I want to bring this text forward. So I'm just going to click on position, bring forward. And yeah, let's zoom in on this text so we can see. Make that text box smaller and let's type down the information. Club number 56, issue number 45. Oh, got it. Select all, left align that because I want to put it on the left. Put that here. Then I want to add the Toastmaster logo. Again, upload, same principles apply. Click your logo, drag it. Oop, it went into the box. Click on this, make that smaller, bring it on top. There we are. I want to align it with this image. And from there, I'm going to put the text a little bit closer. Select both of them, bring them a little bit higher so it's not too close to the image. The other way, we can bring the image down a little bit. So like that, bring that down. Perfect. I want to make this a little bit smaller because there's not much information we want to put in. From there, we can make this bigger, change this color of the box, and I want to put in this issue like we have over here. I'm just going to go ahead and copy paste the information, because that's what newsletters are, right? You just copy paste information from other people. Select T, there we go. I'm going to select all and left align that because I don't want it all in one multiple lines. Here. Perfect. Then I want to click on T once more, and in this issue, make that caps, bring that there. Let's change the font to Montserrat bold, change the color, blue, change this to Source Sans, maybe we can change that. Perfect, we can make that bold so we can see it properly. Let's make this a little bit smaller. Bring that down. Maybe even make this a little bit bigger so we can make everything slightly bigger. Perfect. Yeah, but then I don't want it to be just yellow. I want to add some accent. Remember what I said about accents? You can add in a shape. So I'm just going to copy paste this. I'm going to select on this box, copy it and paste. I'm going to use this as a shape because it's a shape, right? And then I'm going to change the color to blue, make that thinner. And I'm going to bring that there. If you want to make it even more thinner, you can definitely can. Just shrink this a little bit, expand it out. There we have it. But then I want to add something else. I want to add a line maybe down here. So I'm going to go to elements and I'm going to go to lines. Canva has tons of lines that you can use. So go ahead and play around with that. Feel free. And I'm just going to click on this line, change the color to blue. It's up here, by the way. There we go. I want to make that smaller and thinner. So I'm just going to go to the edge, make that smaller, bring that higher. And yeah, I think we're good to go. Yeah, it's going to select these two, position, left align, and we're good to go. We're almost done with our front page. I just want to change the photo and maybe add a little bit something to it to bring out more of what we're looking at. So I want to change it to this photo, drag and drop. But now I can't really see the view, the text. So what I want to do, I want to add a box behind it. Again, click on elements, go to shapes, click on the box, change the color to white, put that to the side. And I want to make it the same shape as the word view, the view. There we are. Let's shrink that. And now this gives the illusion that the image is cropped in a really nice L-shaped way, but in reality, there's just a box behind view. So this is a nice visual trick that you can play around with. That's your first page. That's your cover page. Yay. Now I want to do our next page. So for example, we have success stories. I'm going to click on plus over here to add page. And let's go back to the templates. Click on templates. Your previous template that you clicked would already be open. From there, I want to select the first page again because I like this template. And then I want to just go ahead and change the color, change the font of everything. It's just very simple. The same thing, just have to do the same thing over again. Change the font to however you want. I'm just going to go ahead randomly change that. Now the header. So the header is important for every type of newsletter. In the beginning, you have to figure out how you want your headers to look like in terms of font, color, and size. Okay, so I decided that the font for the header would have to be maroon, and it has to be about 45 font size, and it has to be Montserrat extra bold. So let's change the font first, extra bold, change the color to maroon. I do not want it to be italics. Deselect that, and there we have it. That is your, thank you, Maram. I'll wrap up soon. Success stories. Perfect, bring that up, and there we have it. Delete this, I don't need this, I don't need this, I don't need this, I don't need this. I want to bring this up. The tagline, you can keep it as is, just change the font if you want to. I mean, you should definitely change the font. And then I want to add in the photo, same thing applies, add in your photo. And then I want to add in this thing over here like this. To do that, it's very simple. Click on T. I'm going to go here and copy paste the text, highlight that, paste the text, I want to make this text box smaller, and automatically the text would kind of mold itself to how you want it to look like. There we go. I want it to be left aligned, not centered, and I want all the text to be about 10. Okay, so I just change that. And then to add the circles, again, it's a frame. Add the circle, go to frames, circle, make that small. Put that below, make that smaller so it matches the text size. And then to do the same thing on the other side, just copy, select, copy, paste, bring that down, move the text, move that frame to the right side, select the text, make it right aligned. I know I'm going a little bit too fast for you all. There we go. And then to make duplicates of the same thing, very simple, select all, highlight all of it, copy, paste, and there we have it. Bring that down. Boom. You have your multitude of success stories. This person can say whatever he wants here and whatever he wants there, and that's it. Now, I want to quickly go through how we make an article and how we do an article page. Again, click on page, new page, templates, get into the template that you want to put in. Same thing, change the color, change the font. Remember the font size and header that we've decided upon has to be maroon, has to be Montserrat bold, extra bold. I do not want it italics, and it has to be 45, right? So I made it 45 text. Ungroup this. And the perfect thing about templates is you can go ahead and add in your text. Very simple. So I have text over here, and I'm just going to go ahead and copy paste that now because I want to show you what happens if I have text that's longer. So I'm going to paste that, and you see automatically the text box expands when you added more text. So it would have to do that. So for that I just have to just decrease the size of the image and then get more text that I want to put in because this person wrote a pretty long article. Paste that, and then the article continues. You know, I can go ahead and change this font to Montserrat or Sans Pro. Change the color, don't forget that. What I'm saying is this person wrote a real long article, so I need to continue to the next page. I'm going to duplicate this, duplicate the page, delete the header because we don't need it. Then I'm going to go into the next page, and this is the continuation of the article. Copy that and paste. You see what happens when I paste everything? It expands out. We don't want that. We want everything to be in a good place. So I'm just going to go ahead and move that up. And I want to move this image to the left side, to the right side, move that up. And then maybe I want to move in the over here, the quote over here, and there we have it. So the continuation of this person's really long article, and that's how you ensure that the person's article is placed nice and evenly using a template. Now, I want to quickly show you all how we do the back. How did I do this little blue thing over here? Just really quickly, it's very, very simple. I'm going to click on Add Page. I'm going to scroll all the way up to the photo that I want to use, copy that, paste it to the blank page, expand that page out so it fills the whole page. So it's totally okay if you extend it this way. It won't, no one's going to see it, but I do suggest that you, yeah, there we go. It's fine. Then I want to go onto shapes, to elements, go to shapes, change the color, go to blue, then go to the transparency tool over here, change it to about 95, maybe about 90, so we can see a little bit more. Then we're going to expand this shape all the way around. There we have it. Now, when you're editing text and you don't want to be bothered by this shape moving around, so for example, I have a text and it's really small and I want to click it, but then I accidentally click on this shape and it moves around. I can just click on this shape, click on lock, and it won't bother us anymore. So you can go ahead and select this, it won't move. If you want to unlock it, just click and unlock. And then from there, you can go ahead and add in whatever text you want that would look like this. If I zoom in, You've got happy helpers, editor, writer, contributor, the Toastmaster Club, and the date and the Toastmaster logo. So that is how we make a simple poster, which is this one that we've made, a complex poster, and a newsletter. Ladies and gentlemen, just a brief and a review on best practices in designing. Know your colors and stick with it. Respect the space of your elements. Use up to 2 fonts maximum. 1 font is very ideal. Know your content, make sure it's understandable. Keep it simple, straightforward, only the important bits only. Please avoid using links. Shapes can be your best friends. Know your image and where to put them, and look for inspiration everywhere because it's very, very easy to find. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I know I went through a little bit too fast for you, but I hope you watched the replay so you can pause, rewind, and go back to what I'm doing just to help you understand further. And I encourage you all to practice in designing with Canva. It's very easy, very straightforward, and it is free for everyone to use. So please, thank you so much once again for hosting me, Toastmaster Maram. I really had fun doing it. Thank you very much. Back to you. Thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you very much, DTM, Distinguished Toastmaster Nada Kumber, for that wonderful workshop. I hope our audience were taking notes, or at least following with you while designing the posters. We will now open the floor for the question and answer session, whether you can either drop your questions in the chat box or you can raise your hand so that you can be unmuted and ask your questions. While we take on questions, I would like to first acknowledge the presence of the Public Relations Manager of District 104, Toastmaster Sarfaraz. Thank you so much for joining us. And we would like to take on our first question, which is from Toastmaster Sukukumar from WMC. He is saying that problem with posters is promoting on Instagram and Facebook. So do we still do posters, or do we stick to Instagram post size for posters for promoting sake?
Sorry, the question is whether you should stick to a square or a long poster. Am I correct?
Yeah, because the issue with Facebook and Instagram, sometimes if you're using poster, it crops the edges. Even if you use the zoom out option, it still crops out some of the bits of the poster. So I think Toastmaster Sukukumar is asking how to actually use or promote posters on Instagram, because there is a way for it. Yes, no? All right.
Okay, go ahead, Maram. I think you know the answer more than I do.
It's all right. Actually, if in case you do have a premium version of Canva, you can use that to resize your poster into Instagram size. But for myself, the trick that I personally use is actually use a third-party application on my mobile phone. It is called PhotoGrid. It's a really useful tool or an application. I'm just going to write the name of it in the chat box. It is PhotoGrid. Oh, sorry, PhotoGrid. So it actually resizes it resizes everything that you have, even videos, into an Instagram size. It's free to use, and you can use multiple photos into an Instagram size. You can use multiple videos. You can use posters, whether it is horizontal or vertical. It resizes in a click of a button into an Instagram size poster. If you're following the Toastmasters, our district Instagram, you will notice that, for example, even the agendas are fit into 1x1 Instagram size poster. So don't let posters scare you from using it. You are more than welcome to use posters, whether they are horizontal or vertical, as we have seen Aditi and Neda used, basically. We have another question from Toastmaster Hind. She is asking how to maintain high quality of the poster when downloaded.
Okay, it's really simple. I actually have this question as well from Toastmaster Sheikh Sarfaraz, how to save a newsletter. So basically, I forgot to teach you all how to save things. So just very quickly, I'm gonna go back into my screen so you can see it. For example, let's go into the poster itself. Click on download and let's click on high quality. It says right there, high quality JPEG, PNG. And from there, click on download and automatically it will just download everything for you. And the same principle applies to, there we have it. See, this is the poster. And this is already a pretty high quality poster if you see it. Right, perfect. And another way to ensure that the poster is high quality is to use high quality photos, which is very, very important. Now, just to quickly go through the newsletter, to save the newsletter, just click on download again. Now, newsletters are most preferably PDFs. So you can even go through the selection of the page if you want to deselect a certain page. For example, I don't want to select this article. So I'm just going to click on all pages, and then I don't want to put this article in. I'm going to deselect that, click on done. So he sees over here, pages 1 to 4 and 6. So it skips page 5 completely. And just download that, and it will download on its own. It does take a while for the longer the newsletter, the longer it would take to export. So just be aware of that. And that's it. So just download it and we have a newsletter. Perfect. I hope that answers the question.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Nida. We have a question from, I hope you have answered the question, Toastmaster Hind. And we have a question from Toastmaster Nisha from C2A Toastmasters Club. She's asking, how can we have a border on a poster like the way we can do it in PowerPoint?
Border like that border that I made in the complex one. Is that what she means?
I will ask Toastmaster Nisha to please unmute herself so that she can explain her question a bit better. Toastmaster Nisha, are you with us?
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Maram. Now, actually, I wanted to know if normally we have a border. It could be like some width of thickness. Normally, I have done that in PowerPoint, but in Canva, I haven't been able to do.
Yeah, so the border on the poster, you mean, or on the photo?
On the poster. Like if my meeting invitation is ready. So for that, I need a border for that, for my invitation or my poster. So normally what I do, I make my poster in Canva and then, copy the entire thing PNG in PowerPoint and make the border and then use it.
So kind of like a frame.
Have a paid version. Frame, yeah. Sorry, frame.
Frame. Canva actually, Canva has their own set of frames. It's very, very nice actually. I don't remember. Here we go. But then the only downside about that is that it only has, you can't adjust the width of that frame in particular for some reason. Not yet. But I do know Canva is constantly updating. So give it another week or another month and it should automatically invite in adjustable frames, like in terms of the width, because I know you can do that in PowerPoint. It's really, really interactive. You can adjust the width of the frame itself so it's not too thick, not too thin. But on Canva, we have a bunch of other frames that you can use that's really, really nice and creative. And you can even change the color.
The borders actually can be resized if you're using the corner option. So it makes your border thicker or thinner. You can just share your screen, distinguished Toastmaster Nida.
Sure. Give me a second. I'm gonna share that. There we are. So this is the frames I'm talking about. It's like kind of like the border around it. So for example, we have this.
So if no, I'm talking about the empty one, the empty frame, not the frame that has a photo inside. So you're going to actually go to shapes and the normal frame that you have used for your complex poster. So that thickness of the border actually can be adjustable because the frame itself in Canva has all sizes, basically can be adjustable.
Yeah. So if we make that thinner, smaller, and then I'm going to expand that out automatically that border is thin.
Thinner.
And then when I want to make that bigger, or maybe if I want to make the border bolder, I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. From there, I want to expand that out, and automatically it gradually becomes bolder, and then expand it to the edges. Does that make sense? There is a way. There is a way around it. It's a loophole.
I hope Toastmaster Nisha, this answers your question.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. We have a question from Toastmaster Dinesh Kumar. He says, can you please elaborate again on how to save the color palettes in Canva?
Sure. Okay, let me just do this step by step. I know I rushed through it, but let's do this one at a time. Okay, for example, just give it an example. We're making a newsletter, okay, and it's blank, so we need to add in the Toastmaster colors. The trick that we found out is click on elements. We want to get a shape, a frame actually, that includes 4 colors to fit the 4 colors for Toastmasters branding. So what to do that is to go on frames, click on select all, see all, and I want to scroll down to this computer, the Mac. Over here, you can see those 4 colors that we have to change to the Toastmaster branding colors. Click on the color, which is black, and I want to go to the branding guidelines, and we already have the color palette open. I want to use this hex code with the hashtag. Select that code 777432. Copy that. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy. Then going to go back to our canvas. Go to this color wheel over here. It says new color. Click on that and then paste the color that we have. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing for this one, for the blue, and then click on this one. And I realized that a color went away. So I'm going to click on the black one once again, double click, highlight that, click on the black, check the color. And then, so to keep this in there, I like to either duplicate the page itself and then just delete it from the page you want to work on. And then when you export it, you can just deselect the page over here, just select one page, and then that's what you need to export. And then you'll be able to actually see all the colors over here that you've just imported. But then if you want to do another trick, is just to select this image, make it super small so you don't really need it, and then make that opacity, transparency, make it 0. Put it all the way at the edge, so that way you won't need to duplicate the page. If that makes sense. So basically it's like you're working on a blank page, but not exactly, because you have this little element over here that's bringing in the colors. Yeah, if that makes sense.
Yeah, just be careful when you're using templates, because when we tried it earlier in the beginning of the workshop, the element actually disappeared. So if you're creating poster from scratch, that would work. But if you're using a Canva template, then it's better to actually duplicate the page and then deselect the page that you have the color palette in it. Thank you so much, DTM Neda. We have, I don't think we have more questions. If we have any more questions from the audience.
I think everything was pretty self-explanatory. And if they have any more questions, they can approach you or email the district.
We have
our email.
Have someone who raised his hand, Toastmaster Mohammed Zulfikar. You have a question, sir? You can unmute yourself.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Maram Aladi, and thanks to DTM. Hello?
Hello, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much for conducting this nice workshop. I was requested a very long back, and I really like it overall about this workshop. Thank you so much. And my question was this one, the text which you have given the in the stand one, which is on the left and right, the text is showing like the reading. No, can we take the text, the TIME time? No, it is should be in the order in the like stand. But right now it is coming through the vertical. So is it possible through Canva? Thank you, and over to you. And once again, thank you for conducting this beautiful workshop, and hope next time also we should have a episode 3 as well, and really enjoy. Thank you so much. And over to you, Toastmaster Maram.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Muhammad Fikaruddin. I'll hand it over to DTM Nida to show us how to answer your question.
I think, can you repeat the question? You're saying that if you want to put TIME like vertically, like instead of rotating them, you want to put them right below each other?
Yeah, exactly. So TIME time, I want to write in the, like how we read normally when we're writing a text. So I could not find in the Canva. Is it possible?
Yeah,
Thank you.
It's very much possible. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen. I should just keep my screen on, honestly. So I'm going to go ahead and share my Canva and create a new design so I can just quickly share that. So basically you want to put TIME right below each other. So that means you'll have to use about 4 text boxes, or I'm guessing we can make it, let me see if I can try this out. TIME, right? Is that what you mean? And then change that font. Maybe we can make it left align. No, centered. Is this what you mean? Right?
Yeah,
can you
thank
clarify?
you, DTM Nada. I really like your all workshop. Thank you for this workshop as well as. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much to the Toastmaster Muhammad Fikaruddin. We have a question from our immediate past Public Relations Manager, distinguished Toastmaster Ammar Madan. He's asking how we can remove background of a photo.
Yeah, the background photo is actually one of the newest options for Canva, but you do have to pay for that option. And if you want to pay for it, go ahead. But there is a free app you can use. Maram, if you can remind me of that app that you just told me yesterday that it was.
It's actually a website.
Yes. Yeah, the website, that's the one.
It's actually a website.
Remove.bg.
Yep. So that is actually available in PowerPoint, but in case if you want to use Canva and you want a simple, straightforward option, you can use this website. You can download, you can upload pictures to it, and it automatically detects the face, and it crops basically the background behind the person. And you can even have the option to actually edit or basically manually edit the picture in case if the background was not cropped properly. So for example, if the person is wearing white, sometimes the website can confuse it with the background. So sometimes it crops some parts of the picture that you don't want to crop it. So usually the accuracy is really high, but in case if that happens, you can actually adjust it yourself if you want to. Do we have any question from the floor? Any further questions, ladies and gentlemen?
I think we're good. If anything comes up again, you can just ask one of us after the workshop. But I do suggest you read through the branding guidelines and just play around with Canva. It's fun.
The branding guidelines is really straightforward, but sometimes there are some gray areas that needs clarification. So unless you are fully aware of what goes on, or you have checked with Toastmasters International yourself, you can always come back to me and I can assist you with brainstorming. I can assist you with templates and basically anything you need. In case if you want to reach me out, I will just leave in my number in the chat box, as well as the email for the PR. And in case if you need anything, please don't be shy. My door is always open anytime. I'm available, and hopefully I'll be able to assist you with the best of my capabilities as a Toastmaster. And I hope you have enjoyed this workshop, and it will be available on YouTube, definitely. Right after the workshop, I'm going to download it, and it's going to be available for you all. In case if you know Arabic and would like to also join for the Arabic workshop that is happening tomorrow, you're also more than welcome to join us. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for staying with us until this time. And thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Nada, for that elaborate explanation and showing us several templates and tricks on how to use Canva in a very brand compliant manner. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again, and hope you have a lovely evening. Thank you. Good night.
Good night, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you all.
Lovely session.
Yes. Good night, everybody.
Good night.